Welcome to Culture Alley Mandarin. Ni hao. This is Basic Mandarin Lesson 14. Let's start by going over some of the phrases that you learned in the last lesson. The measure word for flat objects is zhang, while that for people or for general use is ge. This will be zhe, and that becomes na. The measure word for stick-like objects is zhi, whereas the measure word for volume is ben. Great! Now let's take a look at the phrases we learned throughout the last lesson. One photo translates to 一张照片, and a piece of paper becomes 一张纸. One boy becomes 一个男孩子, while a school bag translates to 一个书包. This photo will become 这张照片, whereas that boy translates to 那个男孩子. Similarly, this is a pen becomes 这是支笔, and this is not a pencil becomes 这不是支铅笔. Lastly, that is not a dictionary is translated as 那不是本字典. And that is a book becomes 那是本书. Great! Now let's take a look at today's lesson. Today we will cover basic question formation and negations. Today we will explore how questions are formed in Mandarin and learn a new form of negation that will help us cover verbs. Let's start with question formation. We will start by learning how a question formed in Mandarin is different from one formed in English, and for this, we'll have to learn some new vocabulary. So let's begin. Who translates to 谁, which is pronounced with a mid-rising tone. Let's hear you say 谁. Great! Let's move on. Here's something you need to keep in mind while forming questions in Mandarin. Unlike English, Mandarin supplies the interrogative word where the answer should be. Let's compare English and Mandarin to see what we find. Here is how we ask about someone in English. Who is he? He is Mark. Note that in English, the interrogative comes in the beginning of the question, but the answer comes at the end of the statement. If the same were to be asked in Mandarin, here's how the conversation would go. 他是谁? He is who? 他是 Mark. He is Mark. Thus in Mandarin, the interrogative comes exactly where the answer comes. Let's look at a few more examples to get the concept right. Let's start with the phrase to have. To have translates to 有 and is pronounced with a falling, rising tone. Let's hear you say 有. Good! Let's see how we can say who has a younger sister in Mandarin. Here's the breakup. Who becomes 谁. Has becomes 有. And younger sister translates as 妹妹. Thus, who has a younger sister is translated as 谁有妹妹. That literally means who have younger sister. An answer to the above question can be Li has a younger sister, which becomes 里有妹妹. in Mandarin, literally meaning Li have younger sister. Similarly, who is he translates to 他是谁, literally meaning he is who. So remember that, unlike English, Mandarin supplies the interrogative where the answer should be. Hence, in Mandarin, the translation for who is he will be reordered to he is who, as we will place the answer at the end of the question. He is Mark. Thus, who is he translates to 他是谁, literally meaning he is who. And he is Dr. Wang is translated as 他是王医生. Please note that in Mandarin, the occupation is said after the name. Good. Let's move on to another question. Whose photo is this? Which literally translates as this is whose photo in Mandarin. Let's look at the word-by-word breakup of the same. This translates as 这. Is becomes 是. Who translates as 谁. The possessive particle translates as 的. And lastly, photo translates as 照片. Thus, whose photo is this translates to 这是谁的照片. Literally meaning this is who possessive photo. In response, this is my photo simply becomes 这是我的照片. Alright, it's quiz time now. Let's see if you remember what we've done till now. How do we say, who is he in Mandarin? Do we say, 谁他是? Is it 他是谁? Or is it 乙是谁? The correct way of saying who is he in Mandarin is 他是谁? Here's another one. What does 里有妹妹translate to in English? Does it mean that Li is May's younger sister? Or is it that Li is the younger sister? Or does it simply mean that Li has a younger sister? In English, 里有妹妹 translates to Li has a younger sister. Hope you got that one right. Let's move on. So now we know that the interrogative goes where the answer would be. However, the same is not true in case of question particles such as ma, na, etc. That finishes our bit on question formation. Now let's move over to our next topic, which is negations. To start off with, there are two ways of saying no in Mandarin. Let's look at both of them one by one. The most common one is 不, which is pronounced with a falling tone. We're already familiar with this one, so let's see the next one. The second one is 没, pronounced with a mid-rising tone. It is said as 没. The verb to have, also 有, is negated by 没 instead of 不. Let's look at some examples. Do you have an elder sister translates to 你有姐姐吗? That literally means you have elder sister. Similarly, I don't have an elder sister translates as 我没有姐姐. Literally meaning I don't have elder sister. Let's look at another one. I have a younger sister becomes 我有一个妹妹. Literally meaning, I have one measure word younger sister. Great! It's quiz time now. Let's see if you recall all that we've learned today. When is may used to say no? Is it used with the verb have? Or is it used with the negation not? Or is it used with the word family? May is used to say no with the verb have or 有. Hope you got that right. What does 我没有姐姐 translate to? Does it become I have a younger sister? Or is it I don't have a younger sister? Or the last one, I don't have an elder sister. The correct translation of 我没有姐姐 is I don't have an elder sister. Good job! We've covered both the topics of today's lesson. Now let's take a look at all the sentences we've covered today as a conversation. As always, first in English, followed by Mandarin. Who has a younger sister?
Lee has a younger sister.
Who is he?
He is Dr. Wang.
Whose photo is this?
This is my photo.
Do you have an elder sister?
I don't have an elder sister. I have a younger sister.
Here's how the conversation would go in Mandarin. 谁有妹妹?
李有妹妹。
她是谁?
她是王医生。
这是谁的照片?
这是我的照片。
你有姐姐吗?
我没有姐姐，我有一个妹妹。
Excellent. Let's move on. Let's have another conversation between Mark and Lisa to review what we've covered today. Who is he?
He is my father, Dr. Wang.
Is she your elder sister?
No, I have a younger sister.
Now let's hear it in Mandarin. 他是谁?
他是我爸爸，王医生。
她是你姐姐吗?
不，我有一个妹妹。
Good job! That finishes our lesson for today. Once again, it's time for our culture leaf. Today, we will talk about traditional dinner practices in China. While visiting a Chinese home for a meal, there are certain cultural customs and norms that one must follow. Here are some suggested behavioral practices while going for an informal dinner. It is considered both polite and appropriate to get a small gift, such as a bottle of wine or a tea set. However, make sure to not gift anything in sets of 4, as the number 4, 4, sounds similar to the Mandarin word for death, 死. It is considered rude to start eating before everyone is seated at the dinner table. Wait for all the dishes to be laid on the table and served before you start with your first bite. A customary phrase before starting dinner is 吃饭, literally meaning eat rice and amounting to let's start the meal. 吃饭 is said all around the table before starting a meal. Here you see a photo of a table setting before a Chinese meal. In the next lesson, we will learn about numbers and currencies. We hope you enjoyed your lesson today. See you at the alley for the next one.